Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to our first episode of There You Are. You know, it's a play on words of Here We Go that Fabrizio does. My own version is There You Are. So, There You Are, episode one. Today, we're going to be talking about Ten Hag staying at Manchester United. Before we get started with the video, make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This is Football if you're ready to do so. And I want you guys' opinions in the comment section as well. So, as soon as you're done watching the video, let me know your opinion in the comment section down below, because I'm here to be honest. Listen, There You Are is going to be a series that we're debuting this summer, where we're going to be talking about signings or manager news or any football related news that's been made official. These are pre-recorded videos. We're not going to be doing them live, so we're going to be doing pre-recorded There You Are videos. This is episode one. Obviously, the first announcement, major announcement of the summer is Ten Hag staying at Manchester United. We're here to be objective. I'm a Liverpool fan. For the guys that are watching me for the first time, I'm not here to troll. I'm not here to go, haha, Ten Hag is staying at Man United. I'm not that type of guy. On There You Are, we're here to actually speak truthfully, objectively, and we'll give you my honest opinion on the situation. And let's just get straight into it. I don't think this is as bad as people make out. I really don't think this is as horrible as certain Man United fans are acting like this is the end of the world and it's all over and it's all doom and gloom and all that type. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's all doom and gloom. I don't believe it's all over. And I'll tell you exactly why I think this is actually a good decision by Manchester United and by Ineos and the people in charge. The reason why this is a good decision is because sometimes the market dictates what you do. This is the first time. I'm a very opinionated person. I have really strong opinions on multiple different topics when it comes to football. Who's better, this guy or that guy, blah, blah, blah. I've got strong opinions. The reason why I sat on the fence when it comes to Ten Hag is I acknowledge that Ten Hag, probably based on league performances and what happened in the Champions League this season, does he deserve to get sacked? Possibly. Yeah, he probably has done enough to get sacked. But he did make up for it by winning an FA Cup. And you look at the market. And if you're a United fan who wants Ten Hag to leave or to stay, you're looking at the market, and sometimes the market dictates what you do. The manager market stinks, you guys. The manager market absolutely stinks. It smells. Why would you hand over the job of rebuilding Manchester United under this new ownership group, under Dan Ashworth, under Barada, under Wilcox, and under Ineos, to someone like a De Zerbi, or someone like, and McKenna, or someone like a Maresca, or whoever? We can use two clubs this summer as an example. Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool Football Club, my club, and we got Arne Slot. No one even heard of him, before we made that move. We were talking about Alonso and Amorim. Chelsea sacked Mauricio Pochettino for Enzo Maresca. Obvious downgrade on Mauricio Pochettino. The problem with the Ten Hag situation is people want to act like it's all black and white. It's not black and white. The Ten Hag situation is a gray area where I understand both sides of the argument, but I'm going to tell you why keeping Ten Hag is not necessarily the worst decision in the world. What guarantees you that Roberto De Zerbi succeeds at Manchester United? There are no guarantees. And didn't De Zerbi leave Brighton anyway because he doesn't agree with the way that they run the club? Didn't De Zerbi want to get involved with upstairs decisions as well? And is that not the reason why everything was ruined at Manchester United to begin with? The manager that took over has David Moyes players. He has, Ten Hag players. If he took over from Ten Hag, he has Mourinho players, Van Gaal players from all these completely different styles of football and player profiles and managers. And they have to try mishmash them together and create some form of working concoction. But it doesn't work this way. Football does not work this way. This is why, regardless of who the manager is, Manchester United had to get the structure fixed first. Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, Jason Wilcox, Ineos are making footballing decisions, not the Glazers. That shows me that they are making the right decisions because they don't want any manager to dictate to them which player they want to sign. Because that's what ruined Man United to begin with. Mourinho would come in, he'd want his players. Van Gaal comes in, he wants his players. Moyes comes in, he wants his players. Oli comes in, he wants his players. And suddenly you're sat there with a concoction of players that just doesn't go well together. That's just the reality of the situation. And the market sometimes dictates what you do. Let's look at it from a stock market perspective. If you go into the stock market and all the stocks that you want to buy are all available at really high prices, all-time highs, you're not going to buy those stocks. You're going to stick with what you have, with your own portfolio. until maybe these stocks go down a little bit. Then you go invest in them in the hopes that they go up. All the managers that Man United have been linked with this summer are not an upgrade on Erik Ten Hag. They aren't. What makes De Zerbi better than Ten Hag? Just because he plays good football? There are many managers in the world who play good football. Many managers in the world that play good football. Brendan Rodgers plays good football. Do you guys want him as well just because he plays good football? There's so much more that it takes to manage a club the size of a Manchester United or a Liverpool or a Arsenal. You know, it's so much bigger than just I play good football. De Zerbi will never ever face the pressure he feels at Man United at Brighton. If Brighton go away to Arsenal and lose 5-0, it's okay because it's Brighton. Life just moves on. But if Man United go away to the Emirates, lose 5-0, it's a completely different energy. Now someone will come tell me, Hussam, Ten Hag lost 7-0. Yes, he did. And the day after, there were people calling for his head. There were Manchester United fans calling for his head. That's the different type of pressure that exists at Manchester United that does not exist at the likes of Brighton, with all due respect. Erik Ten Hag this season, based on league performances in the Champions League, I get it. I get why people want him gone. That doesn't mean that you just want him gone for whoever. Because whoever might come in and do worse than Erik Ten Hag. McKenna isn't an upgrade. Maresca isn't an upgrade. All these managers, Potter, Southgate, all these guys aren't an upgrade on who Erik Ten Hag is. I mean, he's won 9 trophies in 5 years. He's won 2 trophies in 2 years at Manchester United. 1 year he finished in the top 4. 1 year, obviously, this season he finished 8th. This is a good thing. Thomas Tuchel obviously wanted control, which is why they did not hire him. Thomas Tuchel, I believe, was probably their guy. But that ended up not working because of the dynamic, because of the power struggle, because of him mentioning examples like Rudiger, when Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have officially pointed out that they don't want any Galactico signings. And also, Thomas Tuchel kind of has that Antonio Conte gene in him, where he comes in, you know, maybe wins you a trophy in the short term, but within a 2-year period, he ruins everything. Go look at Chelsea when he left it. Go look at Bayern Munich now when they've left it. I haven't seen a worse Bayern Munich side over the last 20 years of me watching football. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to Erik Ten Hag. People want to come up here and just make it entirely negative, and it's the end of the world. It's doom and gloom, and that's it. It's all over. It's not doom and gloom. It's not all over. Ten Hag is better than De Zerbi. Yes, he is. I said it. Ten Hag's better than McKenna. Ten Hag's better than Southgate. Ten Hag's better than Potter. Speaking of step-ups, didn't Potter build up Brighton anyway? Look how he failed at Chelsea. Managing a bigger club, a bigger institution comes with so much more than just managing a club, with all due respect. I'm not saying this disrespectfully, like a Brighton. Brighton have been on the end of a couple of hidings this season. It's okay. But if it will happen to Man United, it's a different beast. It's a different animal. I really understand where both sides are coming from. All I'm saying is sometimes the market dictates what you do. If there is no option that Ineos or Dan Ashworth or Wilcox or Berada believe that are going to make Man United better, why not just stick to Erik Ten Hag, renew his contract in the form of you are going to be our head coach and not our manager, and just keep it moving in a positive direction for the football club from their perspective. Life is about perspective, you guys. I understand both perspectives. If you're someone who's Ten Hag and you're sad, they're going like, I don't trust Potter to take over the club and make the club better. If you're a Ten Hag outer, you're saying he finished 8th, there's negative goal difference. I understand both sides of the argument. I really do. All I'm saying is if you want to sack a manager, upgrade. Get an upgrade. Maybe get someone of similar level. The problem is the market stinks, you guys. The market stinks. All the managers that Man United have been linked with, barring Tuchel, who we've already discussed, kind of ruins the club within a 2-year period that he manages, doesn't really make anyone better. How do you know that Roberto De Zerbi comes in and makes Man United better? We don't know that. He plays good football. Wow, so do like 500 million managers around the world. It doesn't matter. Playing good football alone does not warrant becoming the manager of a big club. And what proves this is an example I've already mentioned in this video, the fact that Liverpool Football Club got Arne Slot and Chelsea Football Club got Enzo Maresca. I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I can say honestly, I cannot say that Arne Slot even has higher credentials than Ten Hag himself. If we're talking purely credentials, purely trophies, I cannot say that he has a higher level than Erik Ten Hag. Even he's my Liverpool manager currently. He's the current manager of Liverpool Football Club. As I said on There You Are, this is episode 1. We're going to be talking about official announcements. I'm here to be objective. I'm not here to ha 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 Ten Hag is saying and just laugh. I think if Ineos sit down with Erik Ten Hag, tell him, listen, you're not going to be making any transfer decisions. You're just going to be our head coach. We are going to be making the transfers. The problem becomes a solvable problem. You could go to Nice, sign Kefren Turam, sign a Todibo. You could go to Fulham, sign an Anthony Robinson. You could go get a forward who could get you, 15, 20 goals. You could upgrade on the positions that need upgrading in. That does not mean handing over the reins to Roberto Di Zerbi just because he plays good football. Or Thomas Tuchel, who might win you an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. Yeah, but Ten Hag done that anyway. And then end up, leaving the club in a mess within a 2-year period. The truth of the matter is, Ten Hag staying is not actually bad news unless he fails himself. And you know why this is also good news? If you're a United fan, is because for the first time, unlike the Glazers, they're sending a message not only to the fans, they're sending a message to the players as well. They're telling the players, we're not going to do the whole thing where we just sack the manager at the end of the year and then we bring you a new manager and you down tools again. They're telling the players, this time we're siding with the manager. This time we're siding with the person at the helm. So you have to step up next season, which is a good sign because it shows that the ethos and the mentality has changed from just sack manager, hire manager, sack manager, hire manager to now, even though overall probably the season was bad this season for Manchester United, even though they finished 8th and got knocked out in the Champions League group stages, them siding with the manager shows these players that even if you down tools next season, we are going to be backing the manager. So you better perform on the pitch. This sends a clear image to the players as well. Clear image to the players. Now, someone might, mention an example of a Xavi Hernandez or whoever. Maybe they spoke to these guys. We don't know. Maybe they wanted more power, more control. As a Liverpool fan, I could give you the example of Klopp's 8-year tenure. In his first 4 years, it was like a working, it was like a machine. Michael Edwards, scouts, people doing their due diligence. Jurgen Klopp going to Michael Edwards saying, I want Branton Gotze. Michael Edwards saying, no, we're going to give you Salah and Mane, and the rest is history. Versus the other 4 years, where Klopp had all the power. Pep Linders was making player recommendations instead of the sporting director, instead of the actual scouts. And we ended up winning 2 Carabao Cups and an FA Cup in a 4-year period, 0 Premier League, 0 Champions Leagues. That's why you need the dynamic to be correct at the football club. Man United have fixed that dynamic. Dan Ashworth, Jason Wilcox, Omar Berrada. These are all players. These are all players on a table that are trying to get to the top. They're trying to get to the top. Had they sacked Erik Ten Hag and gotten someone like a Southgate or a Potter or even a De Zerbi, there are no guarantees that helps take Man United to the next level. Versus if I sit with Ten Hag, who already knows the players, who already coached the players, who already knows what it means to be a Manchester United manager based on the pressure that he's faced this season, and I tell him, you should be the head coach and you're not going to be making any transfer decisions. We'll take it from here, from the upstairs, perspective. You just be a coach and do your job on the football pitch, do what's required, and you can keep your job. Like, basically, they don't look to sack him. I don't necessarily think this is bad. I actually think this shows that the energy at Manchester United has changed, and they're sticking to the managers. The players are not going to down tools, and they're going to try to take this to the next level. That's why I don't think sacking Erik Ten Hag is all doom and gloom like people act. It's really not all doom and gloom like people act. And if he is going to sign a new contract with new terms that makes him only the head coach and not the manager who kind of dictates how the transfers goes and all that type of stuff, then that's a good thing. Being a yes man is not necessarily a bad thing. When Klopp was a yes man, we signed Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. When Klopp stopped being a yes man, we signed Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunez. You see the differences. Same way Man United have signed Anthony and Mason Mount and Onana and whoever they've signed over the last 2 years under Erik Ten Hag. This is why you need to trust the decision makers at your football club to be able to make the right decisions. Give them a chance. I mean, already Ten Hag got top 4 in his first season. What's stopping him from doing that again next year? Let's not also forget the fact that Erik Ten Hag has faced so many injuries this season, a whole lot of injuries. I think I've read somewhere they've even had more and more injuries than Chelsea. All the injuries they have faced, everything that they have went through, you could argue that, maybe they were just a little bit unlucky. I understand Ten Hag has done enough to get sacked. If you're a Ten Hag outer and you're watching this video, you're probably thinking, oh, Hussam is laughing. He wanted Ten Hag to stay. Ha ha ha. That's not the case. On There You Are, we're going to be objective. If you've made it this far, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. On There You Are, on these streams, on these videos, we are going to be objective. We're here to give you both sides. I'm here to give you my genuine opinion. Then you make your mind up. It's okay. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. And I hope I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, it means Man United don't win. But we're here to be objective about the situation that's happening. Yes, they had a lot of injuries. Maybe the style of play wasn't the best. But there has been a lot happening at Manchester United, including the takeover, which added pressure to everyone, including all the situations that happened this year. You guys know them. I don't want to go over them. All the injuries, Lisandro Martinez not being there, Varane not being there. I mean, we saw what Martinez and Varane playing together meant in the FA Cup final when you beat Manchester City. So there are some things there that you can work with. Should you hand over the rebuild of the second biggest club in England to Graham Potter or Gareth Southgate or any of these level managers? If your answer is no, then the market just dictated what you should do, and you stuck to the guy that you know. And that's it. That's why this has been episode 1 of There You Are instead of Here We Go, This has been episode 1, and this is my honest reaction to Erik Ten Hag staying at Manchester United. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This Is Football if you're yet to do so. Comment in the comment section down below. What do you think of the video that you just watched? What are your opinions? I want to hear your opinions. Thank you so much for watching. And whenever any club or any known journalist makes the next announcement, we'll be here inshallah doing episode 2. Love you all. See you on the next one.